Hey guys, it's Mr. E here, and do you want to be able to do this? Well, then I have the build for you. Hey guys, so as you just saw, this is a build focused around the quick draw stub revolver. This is one of my favorite weapons in Darktide, always has been. All the way back to the beginning of my channel, you can find me slinging it around with Executioner Stance Veteran, and I am so glad that it actually gets to play a pretty cool role in this Arbites build. Now, this came as a result of me experimenting with Terminus Warrant yesterday, which is the middle keystone on the Arbites, and saying, you know, what is this good for? And it turns out that it's honestly not bad for a certain subset of Arbites ranged weapons, and this is one of them. So we are going to get absolutely maximal use out of this revolver. We're going to be bringing the Lex like we are some sort of a Wild West sheriff, but we're not asking any questions, we're just shooting people in the head. So remember to subscribe and like the video and all that stuff. I really appreciate you guys for doing that. It helps me continue bringing you fun builds like this. Let's go ahead and get started. The melee weapon here is not important. You can choose whatever you want. I chose the regular shock maul because it can apply Skull Crusher, and Skull Crusher can make our boss damage and our team's boss damage insane. So you'll see in the clip here that's coming up after the build guide part that bosses are just melting because we're able to augment that damage like crazy, and then our team can melt them down. So we don't really need to focus on this too much. You can use anything. Anything that gets you through hordes is perfectly acceptable here, so choose whatever you want there. The most important part here is using this quick draw stub revolver. I think that the best way to go here is to use the aim down sight variant, because we are pretty much not going to have to worry about reload speed thanks to the amount of crazy reload that we've got in the tree. So reloading one bullet at a time isn't that bad, honestly. We've got carapace armor, or carapace armored enemies as one of our perks, and then the other one is range weak spot damage. With these two perks, every single enemy that is not a boss dies in one headshot. That is the goal. As you just saw there, crushers die in one shot. The reason that is because we have surgical down here that can guarantee us a crit if we aim down sights for even a couple of seconds, and hand cannon, which gives us 60% rending on critical hit, allowing us to penetrate the armor on those enemies and instantly just dome them. Down here, for curios, just throw on 3 toughnesses because we are primarily just a ranged focused character. We don't need to worry about stamina or anything. A really good choices for works here are combat ability regen, damage resistance to gunners, revive speed, those sorts of things. I think you should be using on all 3 of your curios. Coming down here, or over this side, we are looking at the tree. So the tree at the top, we got Withering Fire. This was that last thing I did. You notice in the intro, I reloaded right before I fired. Reloading within 5 seconds gives you 15% range damage, and that is enough to push us over that threshold of one-shotting a crusher. Coming down this way, these are for our survivability, so up close and force of will and walk it off gives us insane survivability, allows us to sustain our toughness through hordes and all sorts of stuff, and we do need to get into hordes and melee occasionally. And remote detonation is great. I experimented with a version of this build that used a lone wolf, but the dog is so useful when you are sniping because he can protect you from enemies that try to come up behind you and hit you in the back. He loves to come up and get rid of those little annoying enemies that are going to try to whack on you while you're doing your thing. So he is amazing to have around. Remote detonation is a great way to get bosses off of you and the team, and it's just infinite grenades, so cool. Over this side, I've got concussive. I think concussive is still a good pickup, even though we're going for a range focus build here, because it just augments the team's damage, and it can open these enemies up for Skull Crusher. It's a boss elimination tool. 25% extra ammo, Voltaic Mandibles. Voltaic Mandibles doubles the dog's DPS without having to have any special dog talents other than this, and it opens up enemies like the bulwarks and stuff. It makes them just have a seizure for a little while so you can shoot them in the head while they're spazzing out, and it's great to lock down an enemy. Imposing Force, we're going to be killing so many elites and specialists, and this much damage resistance as a result is awesome. We're using the reload efficiency here. That's really nice for the gun that we're using, and also there's going to be another Arbites in your group who's using this other one, so don't worry about it, right? There's always another Arbites. There's always like 3 in every group. Come down here, skipping these keystones, they're okay. A Castigator Stance with both of these nodes. Now, not every Castigator Stance will you get the effect out of these nodes, but on occasion, when you see a nice big juicy group of gunners or whatever, pop this Castigator Stance and start playing like it is a shooting gallery. and your damage will stack to crazy levels, and then you can turn that and shoot the boss a couple of times, and it does some seriously huge damage. But really, we're passing through this just to get to this right here, where you can just shoot non-stop, because every shot with this gun is going to claim at least 1 kill, provided you hit the target, and that will give us a bullet back, so you can just shoot for 10 full seconds, which is awesome. Coming straight down here, we've got Arbites Revelatum, which is going to give us extra damage, which wasn't even in the intro clip. This 20% reload speed here is going to be up all the time, right? We're going to kill so many elites and specialists with this thing that we're going to have tons of reload speed. Zealous Dedication and Soul Guilt Scan, these are crazy powerful buffs. They are amazing for this build specifically because weak spot hits and crit hits are the name of the game for this gun. And Prosecution Blow is 20% rending on ranged critical strike. That is going to stack with the 60% rending on our critical hit for the quick draw stub revolver hand cannon blessing for a total of 80% rending, which means we're dealing nearly true damage to this crusher, which is why he just dies like he does. Justified Measure over here, this is going to be constantly stacked up, 15% free damage because the dog is doing what he's doing. The dog stacks this for you. Street Smart's great for having extra dodge. We got Target Priority, another buff that's going to allow us to one-shot every enemy in the game because it's boosting the damage to them when they haven't even been touched yet. So we were one-shot potentialing way more enemies. And then damage to Ogrins and Monstrosities, another thing that's going to make us boss and kill those Ogrins even better. And then finally we have Terminus Warrant. Terminus Warrant, the whole goal here, right? You should be walking into a horde of enemies, pulling out your melee weapon, and then you're going to club these enemies until what you'll see on the bar here, see the purple stack down there? You want to have 30 stacks of range, and then, and only then, can you swap to your range weapon and start going to town. Because once you have that, you are going to have, until you put this range weapon away, you're going to have all sorts of crazy buffs thanks to Terminus Warrant. Thanks to Terminus Warrant and going all the way down here to Writ of Judgment, we're going to get an additional 25% ranged weak spot damage and critical strike damage, which we can guarantee when we are getting those weak spot hits. And we are also going to get 15% fire rate, which isn't half bad, and also 15% range damage and range cleave and suppression. So these bullets are hitting like miniature freight trains. And of course, even better than that is once we're done shooting all the targets in our immediate target gallery, we can use our stacks of range justice to reload 20% faster. So we have a total of like almost 50% ranged reload speed between all these nodes here, and that means we can reload the revolver like crazy. It's very nice to be able to do that. And that's the whole build, guys. So I'm going to turn you over to Mr. E, who's going to play through some Auric Maelstrom and watch how crazy fast this thing drops so many elites. I mean, granted, we have some really capable allies as well, but yeah, we're definitely pulling our weight with this build, and it's super fun. I would say that if you're playing on Auric Maelstroms, give this build a try, maybe even into some low havocs and stuff. I appreciate you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Mr. E out. Bye.
Let the synchronisters overload. Improbable that an individual like you could uncover the Foundryplex's location.
Ah, but people like to. I must have one of those faces. One who can
Very convincing, I'm sure.
I'm always
You have arrived.
Arbitrators must be ever vigilant for the errors of the
Magazine! I want them dead!
mandated edict. Mercy sanction.
You know what to do.
Excellent. We may now begin the process of turning this alloy into brilliant Lothian steel.
We are a team. Fight like it.
Minority, like one.
So ends the ritual. What once was mundane has now received the Omnissiah's blessing. It shall be put